Hey, I'm glad you joined us today. Today, Donald and I will be harvesting the elderberry trees, the ones from the front and the ones from the back. It's time to go ahead and get what elderberries we can get off, so that's what we'll be doing today. Thank you for joining us. We have already cut and harvested quite a bit of elderberries. We're just finding the last few elderberries here. We're clipping them off and putting them in these cardboard boxes, because that's what works best for us. We harvest them in these. They're flat, they're one layer. There's some passion flower vine wrapped around this. We can just put what we need to. Oh, got an ant. This makes it easier for us to harvest. They can dry out. Now all of the elderberries have not ripened at once, so we've had to come out here over the course of the last few days and just pick. And cut and harvest. This bush has almost been picked. Oh, look, that one way up in the top.
If you stand right there, I'll push it over to you.
Donald's going to try pushing over a limb so that we can get the ones on top. Needless to say, the birds have really cleared the ones on the top a lot. You can see over here. You can see all the ripe ones are gone and the green ones are left. And that's how the birds clear these off.
It's more purple than it is green, you know.
Yeah, the problem is as they ripen, some will turn purple, the birds will get them, or they'll fall off. And then you got the green ones still hanging on there. But if you don't get the ones while they're purple with a little green, you're not going to get many at all. So we're just finishing up the harvest. This is out front.
That one?
Yeah, don't step on that, please.
I'm not.
That's the echinacea. We beat it down. It won't come back. But we're going ahead and taking the risk and harvesting right now. Some years the heads are just get fully ripe all at one time. This is not one of those years. You have to pull down with one hand and clip with the other hand. We're getting them in these boxes now. This will do it for most. What's left here from now on will probably be for the birds. And we've kind of clipped. You can already see up the top where the birds have just picked some of those clusters. The birds have just picked them completely clean. No berries left on some of them, but I think we're going to get plenty. We're going to get more than enough berries from the elderberry bushes.
Oh yeah, we got plenty more in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That handy dandy rake reaches the tall limbs, right?
Yeah, it does.
All right, we're going to walk in the back and see what's left to harvest in the back. There's still a few big good-sized heads that are left to ripen.
We'll just keep our eye on them.
Yeah, we may come out here and get these, or we may just let the birds have the rest of the tree. We've got quite a few. Got plenty enough to share with the birds this year. Now we'll go back here in the backyard. And check out these elderberry trees. Oh, the beautiful crepe myrtle's blooming. Now all of these right in here are elderberries, and you can see there's a big ripe bunch. Donald picked this big old ripe bunch off the back. You can see the difference in the size of the ones in the back, which are American elderberries, and the European elderberries this year. The ones in the back are so much bigger. The American elderberries are so much bigger. So he's going to pick these. And you can see the garden. I've got to go pick off a tomato. I see another red tomato or two. Got to go over there and get them. The garden thickened up, has really grown and produced.
All that just came from the rain and heat.
Oh yeah, been a lot of rain and heat. We did have squash bugs this year. We started having them last year. They did get most of our squash this year. Of course, that happens. Dropping them. Got some ripe tomatoes. I'm going to have to go get a little bucket or something to put them in.
Yeah.
Plenty more hanging over there. I just didn't have anything to put them in. There's the crepe myrtle blooming. Peaches have already been harvested. We'll have to prune that little thing up. And I've never shown this with you. I don't think I've ever shared with you this lavender, this beautiful purple crepe myrtle in the backyard. Donald got this for my birthday one year. It's not pink. It might come across as pink on the camera, but this one is purple. It's a purple crepe myrtle, and we put it back here in the back. I can see its beauty when I stand on the deck. I can see that pretty beautiful crepe myrtle. Of course, it's not growing in full sun like you do most crepe myrtles. It's growing back here in a semi-shaded area. Now the crepe myrtle that we've got back here, you can see, if you can see the difference on camera, you can see these are really bright pink. And this, of course, I started one off of the crepe myrtle that's in front, and we put it back here. But it's also in a semi-shaded area, and so the blooms are mainly over this way. And it's the same as the ones we have in the front. I need to go take a cutting and root that lavender one or that purple one and put it back here. This is the mimosa Donald gave me one year. It's small, but I think it's really pretty back here. And of course that's where our compost bins is. That's where the compost that's ready to use is right back here. And then our green compost that we bring in is right here. The green compost that we bring in from the garden. He's picking this morning. Serious. But the elderberries back here are bigger than the elderberries up front. We just planted this blackberry in the spring, and it is really grown. We've got to stake it up today. There's a lot of new growth on it, telling you it likes where it's at. Of course, blackberries are easy to grow. They're very easy to grow. Blackberries, raspberries, you probably can get those growing pretty easily. Now this right here is a little black-eyed Susan vine. I know there's a different name for it. My granddaughter planted these 2 years ago, and she's had some come back every year on this little vine right here. And she is so happy when they come back. Well, if they're falling off, they're ripe, right?
Well, certain ones. Every time I move the limb,
Yeah. Elderberry harvest is going well. A lot of people can these or make recipes with them. We never do that. We never have enough. We always just take these in, wash them up. This one will go to the chickens. But we always take them in, and we just, we kind of have these as fresh eating, just like popcorn. We just kind of wash them, pop them in our mouth, and eat them. Had to pick the little garden this morning. Enjoying it while we have it. Marigolds hadn't really bloomed yet. Still plenty of green tomatoes. We've got our little garden right here, and of course being tightly together it helped conserve water. There's some natural shade. There is sun that hits this garden for at least 5 hours. So it gets its share of the sun that it needs. Been really hot summer. Donald, tell us how you grew up gardening.
Well, like most people, big.
In the South?
Well, I grew up, having a field or big old garden in the field,
Big old gardening.
Big old garden in the field.
Full sun.
Full sun, yeah. Full
No
sun,
shade.
but it had, it's like raising tobacco. It had to have good drainage and everything,
Yeah, Donald's family were tobacco farmers, and they just grew a lot of their garden right out alongside the tobacco out there. His grandma and his family would just grow rows of tomatoes out along the side of the tobacco.
We'd have fields of them,
Yeah, fields of tobacco.
Gardens,
Yeah, and their green beans. Did the green beans the same way? And
yeah, well, when you got room like that, you can stake them up and everything like that.
yeah,
Now tomatoes. Now we planted tomatoes in our tobacco fields. That was
right on the edge, and you get a fresh tomato even while you were farming.
while you were working. Yeah,
Out there in the hoeing or
yeah, hoeing, topping,
whatever you were doing.
whatever we was doing, priming,
Yeah.
picking,
And they would you'd get a long harvest out of that.
All summer long.
Little row of tomatoes all down. Well, it says little, but you could have a picking day and get like 4 bushel, right?
Well, yeah, you can get a lot back then. Of course,
And of course,
me, my uncle and grandma and all them. Back then, you farmed. You did it for family. We had 5 acres of potatoes.
yeah, and a house to store them in.
Yeah, we had a tater house to store it in, or potato house to store it in. Go out there and pick potatoes like picking rocks all day.
Yeah.
Go fill that little potato house up. You got potatoes. Some go bad, some go rot, but that's the chance, But it's still a lot of good in there.
Oh Lord, you ate potatoes out of there all year. 4 or 5 families, right, with a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Well, it's muggy out here. We're picking kind of early. I'm getting the herbs done early. It's a good day to go ahead and harvest. We're going to get what we can off of these things, and this will be our final picking, no doubt.
Well, we got what, 5, 6 boxes like that.
Yeah, it's been a good elderberry harvest, even sharing with the birds, right?
Yeah. I don't mind sharing.
No.
One's got to eat just like a bird.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can see some caterpillars up in the top of the tree. We don't do anything with our caterpillars. There's a caterpillar nest. Because if you do that, if you get rid of your caterpillars, you won't have butterflies. There is a dead tree in here that Donald's going to get it and take that out. You can see that dried up dead. And that tree came up on its own, so we don't really need it anyway. It'll be fine to go ahead and take that out. This is our little lettuce patch. It did really well this year. Of course, when it got hot, it struggled a little bit, but we still had plenty.
So there's a nice head there. I had to fight for it.
Oh, yeah. That's a big old, right?
Yeah.
Elderberry cluster.
Yeah, let them sit on the stems. I like to pick them off while they're on the stems, but let them sit on there for a little while,
Yeah.
It's like the juice. It's like certain vegetables, certain plants you do,
Yeah.
Pick them off.
I see quite a few on this one. You haven't got to that bush yet.
I haven't got over there yet. I'm fighting my way to the top. I can't fly up there.
No. You're not a dragon or an angel.
The birds have got advantage on me there.
Yeah. There was so many elderberries. It was a great year. These things were covered in big, beautiful white flowers. Of course, I don't harvest the flowers. There's so many things you can do with them. I don't harvest them because we value the berries more, and we go ahead and let them ripen so we'll have a good elderberry harvest so we can make our elderberry syrup, our elderberry tea. We use dried elderberry berries in our tea. It's also an apothecary plant that we harvest, and we use it to stimulate our immune system. Well, back over here to our butter crunch lettuce. That was a good harvest this year. That was a good lettuce. I will certainly be buying this lettuce again, or buying the seeds and growing it. Butter crunch, delicious. Even delicious without a dressing. Just to throw together a homemade salad. And then there is some kale over here, some tender kale. Some old flower seeds are trying to come up in here. But really, as far as the kale and the lettuce is, that's probably all that we're going to harvest out of it. I want to say it's the end. Of our harvesting of the kale and the lettuce. We may still get a little bit more kale. We'll see. Donald cut the curly dock back, so it's down here. It's fresh leaves, so we could go ahead and add curly dock to our salads. You can see where the squash borers got our squash. We had squash bugs this year. We still got a surprising amount of squash off all of them, even with the squash bugs, and the squash was good. We did get out here and pick in the beginning. We picked a lot of the squash bugs off and put them in a bottle. And we got quite a bit of squash we've been making recipes with. So we had enough good squash for eating this year. Actually, we had a lot of rain. Of course, it came all at the beginning of the year. And then it did cause some disease because the heat would come right in behind the rain. And it would be so hot that it was hard for us to...
Too much water, too much heat.
Yeah, too much water and heat, which is a lot of, it's grounds for disease. This is a good bunch looking right here.
Huh.
That's a good bunch right there.
It's got a lot of green in it.
You think?
Yeah, I done pulled it down.
Okay.
Hang in there another day or two.
Yeah, it's hard to see from down here, ain't it?
It is.
Or it's hard to see down here, isn't it? I've been trying to cut the word ain't out for a long time. It still pops up every now and then. Our elderberry harvest is probably coming to an end. We've got boxes of these sitting out so our elderberries can dry. Here's one we harvested a few days before. You can see the elderberries have dried. Over here's the 2 trays that we've took off, and they're just drying in a single layer on this cardboard in good circulation. I brought in another box today. Donald's got several other boxes. Of course, all the green will come out of here. And there's just plenty of them everywhere. This is what it looks like at harvest time for us. There you go. We've got the elderberries harvested as much as we can today. And we've also got the little gardens picked out in the back. Got things scoped out for the rest of the summer, what we're going to be doing with what we've got here on hand. Thank you for joining us. Like always, until next time.